Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're doing another Shoutcast, and this person that submitted these battles is using my team that I had showcased the other day. Well, I shouldn't really say my team because these are just good Pokemon in general, and anybody is obviously allowed to use them, so it's not really my team. But yeah, I guess they got inspired by the video, and I do appreciate that, and thank you so much for submitting these battles. As always, much appreciated. But I really wanted to talk about it again and talk about this team because I had a lot of comments, well, a decent amount of comments asking, well, what do you do against grass types? Isn't it going to be difficult to win because you have a couple things that are going to be weak to a grass Pokemon? And you know what? You're not wrong. Grass types are one of the hardest counters to this team. In fact, I would say it's probably the hardest counter to it, especially if it's the lead. If it's in the back, like if they have a Meganium or a Shiftry in the back, that's not that bad because Toxicroak can go head-to-head against those, especially Shiftry, and even if it's Meganium, if you have shields, Toxicroak does pretty well against it as well, charging up a lot of energy. But if it's the lead, it is obviously going to be it's going to be incredibly difficult to win if you go up against a lead that is a grass type like Meganium or Shiftry, which I have. Now, I have beaten them. Generally, what I do is, let's say it's a Meganium lead, I don't switch into Toxicroak because they're going to bail, and when they bail, they're going to be able to knock out your Toxicroak, and you're not going to have anything to handle the Meganium with later on. So what I do is switch into a Azumel. If they don't switch out, then I could just go for Ice Beams, and they know it. And if they do switch out, I have the Toxicroak to handle the Meganium later, and I have won a couple of battles that way against grass leads, but it's still difficult. It's definitely 100% difficult. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy battle. This is not a perfect team, not by any means. Another thing I wanted to address is why I like Thundershock on Stunfisk, and that's just because Azumel is super common, so I like having Stunfisk to go up against Azumel. It has a little bit better of a matchup than Mudshot against Azumel, so that's generally why I go with that. I guess against Skarmory as well. Here we have a Whiscash, another relatively tough matchup because we're going to be weak with Stunfisk as well as Toxicroak. So Azumel can handle the Whiscash, but the other two not going to do well against it. But let's take a look and start commentating these battles. This person that did submit this as trainer did go 5-0, so congratulations, really impressive. I'm going to go ahead. Looks like getting a little bit of lag. Let's see, it should hopefully connect. So there we go, the Ice Beam is going to knock out that Whiscash, and he's going to barely win it, but still able to win that game, so well played. Well played. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Going in with the same team, I think he's just using the same team in all 5 of these battles, but we'll have to see. So leading with Stunfisk again against Crawdon, so definitely a favorable matchup, although you do have to watch out, obviously, for the water attacks. Honestly, I don't know what other water attacks Crawdon gets besides Bubble Beam. I don't know if it gets Water Pulse, it might, but it looks like it's going to shield, not wanting to take any damage. Crawdon is going to release a charge attack. This is going to be a Bubble Beam, so even though Stunfisk is weak to Bubble Beam, it doesn't do that much damage because it's a weak move. It's a good move, but it's a weak one at that. So going to go for Night Slash. So it looks like this Crawdon has Night Slash and Bubble Beam. Stunfisk going to go ahead and go for a Discharge. That will be enough, even after the debuff, to knock it out. In comes Whiscash. Now, as I've said before, Stunfisk already did its job, so even if it goes down, that's okay. Just getting off some damage. This Whiscash might try to farm. Nope, not going to try and farm. Going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb. So that Mud Bomb easily going to knock out Stunfisk, but I already mentioned it. It already did its job, so that's okay. In comes the Azumel. As I said, Azumel can handle the Whiscash. Out comes Skarmory. Switching into Toxicroak. Okay, so that was obviously a blind switch. So because it was a blind switch, I don't think it was a bad switch. It was just, you called it hoping it would be something else. It wasn't. So hoping it was probably a Registeel, right? But it happened to be a Skarmory, so not going to be great for Toxicroak. But at the same time, the counters are still adding up. Look how much it's doing to Skarmory because Toxicroak does have a high attack. So gonna go ahead and fall. Azumel is going to come in and going to be able to go for this Ice Beam. Now, looks like he's undercharging. Okay, gonna go ahead and undercharge. Wants to farm down with Bubble. Really nice play, really strategic play. Looks like the Azumel is gonna be able to handle this situation just fine because it could take the Sky Attack. In comes that Whiscash, no problem. Still has a shield, could take the Mud Bomb anyway, but gonna go ahead and shield this Mud Bomb. And probably, okay, another Mud Bomb. Azumel still able to take it. So this Azumel going to be able to take it just fine. going for that Hydro Pump. This will be enough to knock out that Whiscash. It is neutral to Whiscash. Remember, it's part ground. And in comes Scummy, and it faints to the bubble. So really nice play, even though that blind switch didn't work out in his favor because it was Toxicroak against Scummy. Still really well played and was able to turn it around. Definitely really nice undercharging the Scummy, able to pull it on through. So that was a really nice game. I really enjoyed that game. So let's jump into the third game, see what happens. Okay, picking up a favorable lead. I have seen quite a few Probopass or Bastiodon leads. So Bronzong comes in, switching into a Zumel. Now, Stunfisk still has a favorable matchup against Bronzong, honestly. So could have stayed in, but wanting to save that Stunfisk because they know he has Probopass in the back. So that switch actually makes a lot of sense because Azumel able to handle the Bronzong. Bronzong will shield, so nice shield bait. So even if this Bronzong does feint Azumel, you still have that Stunfisk in the back that can handle the Bronzong. So we'll have to see. Ice Beam going into Bronzong. Bronzong will get off a charge attack. Most likely a Psyshock to knock out the Azumel as it is. Okay, but you can go back into Stunfisk and just charge up for a Mud Bomb. Looks like that's what's going to happen. Going straight for that Mud Bomb. Going to be doing super effective damage. Let's see if this is going to be shielded. It is. So going to go ahead and pick up the shield. This Bronzong might switch, not yet, so Stunfisk will go ahead and shield it up, wanting to preserve that health, because again, he knows that Probopass is in the back, and Stunfisk has a huge matchup against Probopass, because Stunfisk will be resisting like all of its charge moves, right? So, definitely wants to save Stunfisk for Probopass. The opponent actually backs out, but again, Toxicroak was also fantastic for Probopass. So we don't know that third Pokemon, right? But I guess it wasn't going to do well. So, well played. So we're jumping into the fourth game, again with Stunfisk against Alolan Ninetales. So, I have never had this matchup, so I'll have to see how it plays out. Looks like he wants to switch into a Zumel. Okay. Will this Ninetales bail? Not yet. So we're going to go ahead and charge up and go for the bluff. So this would be a little bit risky not to shield on the opponent's end, but maybe he'll call it. He does. So really nice play on the opponent's end to call that shield bait. And this Alolan Ninetales is going to go ahead and go for the Psyshock. Adding up in damage, that Chum is definitely doing a lot. Trying to get to another Ice Beam before it goes down. Does get to that Ice Beam, so the Ninetales probably knows it's an Ice Beam, not going to go ahead and shield, although it still gets super low. So in comes Toxicroak to finish it off with counter. Let's see what comes in. Lost the lead, so we'll have to see how he plays at Parasect. So that's interesting. I have never went up against the Parasect before, I gotta be honest with you. So we'll have to see what happens. Looks like he's undercharging it, not getting a shield. So this opponent does not want to give up shields under any situation, it seems like. Going for X Scissor. So that Fury Cutter definitely charging up pretty fast. So let's see. Going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Bomb. Let's see if this Parasect wants to shield this one, because that will, knock out Parasect. Okay, in comes Blaziken. So Blaziken, as we know, is a super powerhouse. Obviously, he's saving the shields for that Blaziken, so this is going to have to be shielded. Yep. So out comes Stunfisk. So Stunfisk is going to be able to get to a couple Mud Bombs and be able to knock out this Blaziken, and he still has 2 shields. So going to go ahead and shield up that Blast Burn. Going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb. This should be shielded by the opponent. Let's see if he does shield it. He does, so just has to get to one more. Blaziken able to get to a charge attack, but again, Stunfisk can just shield it. So totally fine, and Stunfisk is going to be able to get off this Mud Bomb, which is definitely going to be enough to knock out that Blaziken. It's definitely really squishy, and it's definitely in KO range. So really well played. Really well played. We'll see how the game goes of this set. So jumping into game 5, so let's see, is that the same opponent? I'm not really too sure. It looks like it might be the same opponent, actually. So Stunfisk versus Blastoise. Okay, it's not the same opponent. So Blastoise going to be super effective with that Water Gun attack, but Stunfisk is also doing super effective damage with Discharge. So let's see how this plays out. So that Clone Blastoise is going to opt to shield. Going to get off a charge attack. Stunfisk will shield. Probably going to be a Hydro Cannon as it is, so that would have knocked Stunfisk out, so definitely wants to shield that. So I don't know how much Discharge does, so I guess we'll find out. So this Discharge will not land. Yeah, once Discharge is definitely not going to be enough, so switching out into Azumel. So that Clone Blastoise is going to bail into Jirachi. So luckily that Toxicroak did not meet up with that Jirachi, right? Because this Hydro Pump, I would assume this is going to be enough. No, I'm wrong. Okay. I thought it would be enough because Jirachi, not the bulkiest Pokemon, but it's still not enough. So, Doom Desire, doing nice neutral damage, but the Azumel is able to feint the Jirachi just fine, storing up a little bit more extra energy. Should be able to get off an Ice Beam. In comes a Whiscash. Okay, another Whiscash, going straight for that Hydro Pump, able to get to it before the Whiscash gets to a Mud Bomb. So this is going to do massive damage, not enough to knock it out. That's okay. Whiscash will go for the Mud Bomb, and this Azumel is going to collapse. So Azumel fainting. Let's see what comes in. Going to be that Toxicroak. So Toxicroak is going to be weak to this Mud Bomb. Actually, the Toxicroak not going to shield. I thought it might have, but it's not going to. Because he knows he could take it. So nice play. Able to store up some energy. Going for that Sludge Bomb, it looks like Blastoise unfortunately feints the Toxicroak. So going to go ahead and opt to shield this. I don't know. Discharge is probably not enough, is it? Am I wrong? Is discharge enough, or does he get to another discharge after that? I've never went up against the Blastoise with Stunfisk. It is enough. Okay, I didn't even know that. But really well played. And yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for submitting it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.